So, because I am a spiritual warrior, sometimes I forget my human side. And this morning I woke up in grief. I woke up in grief over my family. Because it's like, yeah, it was this and that. It was all so many things, but it was what I created. It was mine. I was comfortable with in the chaos and or the toxicity. And there's still aspects about it all that I miss. Like I love one of my um, love languages is acts of service. Like I love caring for the people that I love. I loved cooking for my family. I loved cleaning, making sure they had everything that they needed. When I always made sure everybody had their plates before I ate, that was just, it wasn't out of duty. It was just out of honor. Like I loved taking care of them in that way. My life was them. That was my life. And now it's no more, and I'm having to create a new normal. And there's aspects of me that never grieved certain aspects of that which I left. And I go back and forth. I go back and forth with saying, man, couldn't I have made that work? Or, because honestly, when I left, we were at the best place in our marriage that we had ever been. And but at that point, it was still not good enough because I was still settling for what was instead of what could have been or should have been. And I knew ultimately I would only end up back in the same process of being unhappy and going through that whole, downward spiral. But this hits in stages. There's levels to grief. There's levels to letting go. There's levels to it. And sometimes when things happen to me, look, I'm an Aries. When things happen to me, sometimes I just like to feel it or experience it and get through it. Thinking I can say when I've had enough or when it's been grieved enough, but no. The soul keeps the score, the body keeps the score. It's not on me to decide how long my grief lasts. And it comes up whenever it wants to. And part of learning to love myself is allowing it a place to come up and not pushing it away, but sitting with it. So this morning I sat with it. And this morning I sat with it and I cried. I had my tea and I cried and I looked out the window and it's like God was sitting with me, holding me, saying, baby, it's okay. It's okay. Because even though I was grieving those parts of it that I loved, that really made me feel good, I was also being hit with the truth of, the reality of what the situation truly was. So yeah, don't rush your healing. Don't rush your healing. Don't rush your grief. Understand that it comes in stages. And the best thing that you can do is just allow it to be. Allow it to be. That's the only way that you can ultimately heal and ensure that you don't go back to what God pulled you from. Because if you don't allow yourself to heal, there's an opening that's left there, an opening that you will go eventually want to go back to that same thing only to see why you were delivered out of it, right? So don't deny yourself. Allow yourself to heal. Allow yourself to heal. You're worth it. You're worth it. And eventually this will feel, I can't put a time frame on it. Eventually it'll get better. But I think this is the first time today that I've actually allowed myself to truly, I thought I had grieved it, but I miss my family. I miss aspects of my family. And part of me gets sad at having to leave and leaving them without that support, that maternal support, that nurturing support, that woman who, is taking care of their needs. I go back and forth battling myself with that. Like, it's not fair that my boys don't have me there. It's not fair that they're having to move through life from a fractured family. It's not fair. It's not fair to them. And it was all based on a decision that I made. It's not fair. But I have a life as well. I exist as well. My happiness should mean something as well. And what kind of mother am I, or could I have been, had I stayed in a situation that was draining the life out of me, that was killing the very good parts of me? Not a good one. Okay. I'm gonna take it easy today and journal, pray, allow whatever to come up, and hopefully tomorrow will be better. There's no guidebook to divorce and beginning anew. There's no guidebook. So give yourself grace and know that you, whatever it is you're doing the very best that you can with what you have.